We are in Chapultepec, a park twice the size of New York's Central Park.
That's right, we spent about 3 weeks in Mexico City.
And we've done everything there is to do here.
No esperar.
Well, we have done quite a few things, so come along as we check out our favorite things to do in this awesome city, Ciudad de Mexico. Mexico City is absolutely huge. It's over 570 square miles and has over 9 million people. With so many things to do and places to visit, here's a list of our 24 favorite places to go and things to see to help narrow it down. While not a ranked list, we did save the most unexpectedly entertaining item for last. So stay tuned till the end. And after that, we'll decide whether Mexico City is a place we'd want to live.
As we said in the intro, Bosque de Chapultepec is a massive urban park, and it's often called the lungs of the city. We spent a lot of time exploring the park and didn't come close to seeing it all. But there are some definite highlights. And the National Museum of Anthropology is one of them. It covers Mexico's fascinating pre-Hispanic history and includes a large collection of art and artifacts. Just across from the museum, be sure to catch a performance of the traditional Danza de los Voladores. Our last stop in the park is Chapultepec Castle. Built in the 18th century, it served as an imperial palace, a military academy, and a presidential residence. Since 1939, it's been the site of Mexico's Museum of National History. It also has some of the best views in the city. Hola!
¿A dónde estamos?
We are in the Jardín de Centenario in the Coyoacan neighborhood of Ciudad de Mexico.
With its beautiful buildings and plazas as well as its rich history, the borough of Coyoacan is a must-see. This is our sister-in-law's mother, Elsa, who lives in Coyoacan. Being able to hit the town at night with a local was a real treat. The three-story Laka Laka is a bar and restaurant with vibrant colors, a festive atmosphere, and mariachi music. We also enjoyed a meal at Los Danzantes, a beautiful restaurant that sits right on Hidalgo Plaza.
This is oyster mushroom tlayuda, and these are duck enchiladas with mole.
Casa Azul is the most popular attraction in all of Coyoacan. The former home and studio of iconic artist Frida Kahlo is now a museum dedicated to her life and her work. It constantly sells out, so get your tickets in advance. Stricken with polio as a child and in a terrible bus crash at 18, much of her life was spent bedridden and in pain. Despite this, she brought beautiful art and style to the world and became one of Mexico's most famous citizens.
Coyoacan Mercado is filled with shops, produce and meat markets, and eateries. Trinidad Ritual de Sabores was one of the culinary highlights of our entire time in Mexico. Our guide at the Frida Kahlo Museum recommended it highly, and it lived up to the hype.
Fans of European history and politics will definitely want to check out the Leon Trotsky Museum. Trotsky and Lenin were the main architects of the Russian Revolution. Following Lenin's death, Trotsky's life was in danger after criticizing the Stalin regime, and he went into exile in Mexico. He lived, worked, and was assassinated in this home. This is also his final resting place.
Museo Anahuacalli is our final stop in Coyoacan. Famed Mexican muralist Diego Rivera had an extensive collection of pre-Columbian artifacts. He designed this palatial structure to house his collection, but it wasn't completed until after he died. The views from the rooftop deck are spectacular.
We are here at
Teotihuacan.
We are here at Teotihuacan or Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan.
Learned two different ways of pronouncing it, which was the first thing we've learned already. Because of its proximity to Mexico City, Teotihuacan is one of Mexico's most popular archaeological sites. While it may lack the sheer beauty of some of the Mayan ruins in other parts of the country, it's impressive nonetheless.
Mexico City's main artery is Avenida Paseo de la Reforma. The upper level of a double-decker city bus is a great way to see it, especially if you can snag a front seat. On Sundays, the street is closed to motor vehicles and open to pedestrians and cyclists. There are booths up and down the street where you can check out a bike for free. This is by far the most fun way to experience La Avenida.
Where are we today, Jen?
We are in Xochimilco about to take a boat ride on the river.
And we have picked up a couple of stragglers here. This is Patricia and Stuart,
Hey, hola.
Jen's sister and her husband.
Mi hermana.
And you've been here for a few weeks now, right?
Just over 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right. Teresita. Este es Juan. He's our jefe, capitan. The canals of Xochimilco are all that remain of the once extensive lake and canal system that covered Mexico City. During your boat ride, other boats will come up to serve you lunch, sell you souvenirs, or play mariachi music. Carne asada tacos.
Oh no, Craig steering. What are we going to run into something?
Yeah, amigo Juan, taught me everything.
This is the Monumento a la Revolución, which is a memorial arch commemorating the Mexican Revolution. A trip to the top of the arch is one of the best places for views of downtown Mexico City.
This is amazing.
Being on top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
There's a cafe where you can enjoy the views, and the basement has a museum dedicated to the revolution.
If Chapultepec is its lungs, Cuauhtémoc is the heart of the city. This borough is filled with an almost endless supply of things to see. Here are some of the highlights. At the center of it all is Mexico's main square, Zocalo, which is surrounded by commercial buildings, government buildings, and the Metropolitan Cathedral, the largest church in all of Mexico. This is also where you can see the remains of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital that was built over by the Spaniards.
Avenida Francisco Madero is a 9-mile pedestrian walkway which features shops, restaurants, and museums. Dating back to the 16th century, Alameda Central is considered the oldest park in the Americas and features an impressive collection of 8 fountains.
At the end of the park sits Palacio de Bellas Artes, possibly the most beautiful building in the city. Inside, you'll find a dramatic Art Deco interior and an extensive art collection.
Palacio Postal is our final stop in Cuauhtémoc.
50 pesos per person. So that's about $2.50.
And you get a stamp.
And we get a stamp worth 50 pesos, so essentially it's free. The stamp is meant as a
Momento.
memento. ¿Cómo se dice memento?
Momento. While a postal museum featuring stamps, scales, and mailboxes may not sound exciting, the 120-year-old building is the star of the show.
We promised the most fun item for the end, which brings us to Arena Mexico. We've got our tickets and there's excitement in the air. The heroes are here, and so are the villains. That's right, it's Lucha Libre. The wrestling may be choreographed, but the excitement and athleticism are definitely real. And oh, by the way, these guys are nuts. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
We are wrapping up our time here in Mexico City, and it's been a great time. This is a fabulous place, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's a great city, lots of things to do, and it is enormous.
It's absolutely huge, but I don't think you could ever run out of things to do here and places to see. While there are a ton of things we like here, there are a few things that we're not crazy about.
Little too much hustle and bustle for us. We've done the city thing, and we've outgrown that at this point in our lives.
Yeah, and the combination of elevation and smog is pretty tough on the lungs and gives you some headaches. So that would be something tough to deal with. And it's not close to a beach. So would we want to live in Mexico City?
No. We didn't plan to look at this place as a place to live, but we loved our time here.
This also wraps up our time in the country of Mexico. We've been here almost 2 months and really enjoyed it.
We've had a wonderful time exploring this country, and I wish I'd done it when I was younger.
Yeah, I'd only been to Baja, California. Growing up in San Diego, I'd been to Tijuana, Ensenada, Rosarita, San Felipe, but never explored the rest of the country, and just really impressed with everything there is to do and see here.
So to our younger followers, I highly advise you come and explore this beautiful country.
And as we leave, we've come away with 2 places that are on our maybe list for a possible place to put down roots,
Progreso.
and Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go visit another country. Where are we going, Jen?
Next, we're headed to Costa Rica.
And quite honestly, this is a place we anticipate will be a very likely place that we might want to put down roots. So join us as we check that out.
Pura Vida.
Bye for now. Adios.
If you enjoyed this adventure, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of our travel and wildlife videos.